Hello, welcome to today's session. All right, so today I'll be sharing with you the tips on what you should do. Now you've done your preparations and you've booked your test, and here today now is your test day. What are you supposed to do during that IELTS listening test day? Okay. And by the end of this session, the tips that I'm going to share with you, if you follow them, okay, if you follow the tips I'm going to give you on what you should do during your IELTS listening test day, trust me, you'll come out of that test room smiling. Okay. I know in my previous video I said there are some mistakes that people find themselves making during the test day, and by the time you get out of that test room, you are really sweating, and you cannot explain what happened. So today I'm going to share the tips, and as I said, get yourself a paper and a pen and write down the notes because they will be quite helpful. All right. So welcome. And if this is your first time you're watching my video, kindly check the other videos that I've done before. A lot of information there. My name is Isabella, and welcome on board. All right. So let's head over to what I'm sharing today. So the listening test day advice. All right. Advice number 1, ensure the audio clarity. Okay. Ensure the audio clarity. All right. Like I said, the listening test, it's all about what you hear. It's about what you hear, how you comprehend, and write down your answers. So the clarity of the audio, it is very key. It is very key. And what you need to know, in fact, most or if not all centers, all the British Council IELTS centers, the test takers are provided with the headphones, okay, to make their audio experience, to make them experience the best audio experience, the best possible audio experience. So just in case you experience, in fact, before even the audio begins, before the moment you've settled down, you've been given all the instructions, you've been provided with the headphones. What you need to do before even the test begins, you need to check and adjust the headphone volume to the best volume that is okay with you. So make sure you adjust the audio. That is very much allowed. Each one has their own level of the audio that they can be comfortable with. So make sure before the audio begins to play, all right, make sure you adjust the volume in your headphones. All right. But just in case, and this is something that really rarely happens, but we cannot rule it out. Just in case your headphones develop problems or you experience some audio issues, simply raise your hand up. Okay, raise your hand up, and an invigilator will come to your rescue. That is just in case. All right. So ensure your audio is okay, and make use of the volume button. Adjust the volume to the volume that you are very comfortable with. All right, so that is number one. Number two, use your time wisely. Use your time wisely. And as I said, you will only listen to the audio once. You will only listen to the audio once. Okay? So make sure you use your time well. And I want to mention this. Just because, like I said, the IELTS listening test has 4 sections. Just before each section begins, the test takers are given some time, to prepare themselves. Usually it runs from 30 seconds to 1 minute. 30 seconds to 60 seconds, you'll be given that. You'll hear it in the audio. You'll hear you have 30 seconds to go through the questions. This is the time you are supposed to really spend so well. And at this point, what you're expected to do is just to run through the questions. Remember, you are looking at the question paper. Like I said, in the test room, you are provided with the question paper and the answer sheets. But this time, we are not doing anything about the answer sheet, okay? Remember, we'll be having the last 10 minutes to transfer our answers to the answer sheets, okay? So this time you are working, your focus is on the question paper. You are listening to the audio while your eyes are on the question paper. So you'll be told you have 30 seconds to go through the questions. This is the time that you really need to spend so well. Go run through, scan through the questions and check, this is the time that you need to, in my last video, you heard me say about the keywords. This is the best time for you to even underline. Remember, I said you can do anything, you can write anything, you can underline things on the question paper. That is allowed, all right? You can underline the keywords as you read through. For example, if a question is asking what is the best, blah, 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 underline the keywords, the best, that is the keyword. Any keyword you spot somewhere which will help you to capture the answers faster, underline the keywords. So use your time wisely, all right? Number 3, follow instructions. Follow instructions. This is where you will be seeing things because each question has its own instructions. Sometimes the mistake that people or some test takers make, they assume that, it's 2 words or it's 3 words, Make sure you read each question will have its own instructions. It will either be in not more than 1 word, in not more than 2 words, in not more than 3 words. All right? So read the instructions carefully and follow. In my last video, you saw how you can easily lose points because you were required to write in not more than 1 word, but you wrote 2 words. Much as it was an answer to the question, but because you did not follow instructions, you easily lose points. All right? Number 4, learn to predict or anticipate. This is what happens when you are during the time, those 30 seconds or 1 minute period that you are given before the audio plays. As you're reading through the questions, you can be able, to predict and, start, and anticipate what, you'll be hearing in the audio, all right? For example, if the question you are reading here, you're spending your 30 seconds and you're reading a question here that says, which one is that? What does the woman tell the secretary about ABCD? You know already so many, the things that will run through your mind. Oh, obviously, I'm going to listen to a secretary, maybe in an office, in an institution, talking to a woman. It could be a woman client, it could be a woman, so that is prediction. The questions will help you predict what you might hear in the audio. That will bring your mind closer to whatever it is that you are about to listen to. So learn to anticipate, running through the questions and predicting the possible topic, that you might hear in the audio that you are about to listen to. All right. Okay, so the next number 5. Okay, yes, I've done 4. Number 5, answer in the question booklet. That I will keep reminding you. You can write whatever you want as long as it's something that is going to help you, find your answers. You can write whatever you want on the question paper. One thing, the question paper will be given back when you are done with the test question, the IELTS listening test. Both the question paper and the answer sheet will be taken. You'll hand them both over to the invigilator. All right, but the question papers, nobody is going to mark your question papers. That is why it is very important for you to transfer your answers from the question paper to the answer sheets. So you will hand over back. You don't need to, erase and, wrap through whatever it is that you are writing on the question paper. Just hand in the question paper the way it is with all the writings that you've done. But know that it is not going to be marked. Nobody is going to mark your question paper. So write all your answers on the question booklet, and at the end of the listening, they use your 10 extra minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. All right. And next, what is that? I think I skipped something here. Focus on finding answers, of course. Remember, in the listening test, we are just listening to find answers. We are listening for a purpose, and the purpose is just one. We are listening to find answers. So as you're reading and you are listening, you're just listening, focus on finding answers. All right, you're not in fact, what I tell my students, nobody expects you to listen to that audio and feel, get carried away, by the story, or maybe it's a discussion going on, or whatever it is, if it's a monologue, and then there you are, you get so, taken away by the story, you want to enjoy, and then no. You are listening to find answers. Okay. In fact, at the end of each section, you're supposed to actually erase. That is what I tell my students. Once you're done with section 1, just erase everything you had in that audio. Erase it. During the 30 seconds that you're given, you're supposed to do 2 things. First, read through the questions for you to predict and be, familiarize yourself with whatever that it is that you really want to hear and answer during the listening session. Number 2, this is the best time again you should use to the 30 seconds to erase whatever it is that you had in the audio that you just finished listening. Why? Because you're not going to be asked any question. As you move to the next section, that is gone. Section 1 and the audio and everything that you listened there, it's gone. You're not going to encounter any question ahead here which requires you to remember what you had from the previous audio that was played. So once you're done with a section, just delete everything that you had. So focus, listen for a purpose of finding answers. So as you are watching, reading through your question paper, you are reading and focusing on finding answers. All right. Don't get stuck. Remember, in my last audio, I said one of the reasons why people would get stuck is lack of, variety of vocabulary. All right. Maybe you are just here looking at the question, and whatever it is that you're listening to, the words that are being spoken there, you can't see them here. Reason because what you're looking at, it's a synonym of whatever it is that is being said here. So this is one of the reasons why somebody would get stuck. You're just there. No, I can't see this. Oh, this is what they're saying, but I can't see it here on the question paper. So do not get stuck. Just figure out whatever it is you're listening to. If you can't see that exact word there, is there a synonym? Okay? Is there a synonym of whatever it is that you're reading, which you can hear being spoken? All right? So do not get stuck. Just in case you find yourself, this can happen. You find yourself, okay, I can't even see, I can't find an answer here. What do? Just move on. Just move on and leave that question alone. Because if you focus on this one question, you are going to lose track. Remember, the audio is playing and you are only listening to this audio once. Just move ahead and focus on the next questions. You will come back later. I will tell you what you're going to do. Once you skip this question that you almost got stuck, I'm going to tell you what you're supposed to do, all right? So pick up, that is the next, number 8, yes. Pick up signpost expressions. This is quite helpful, especially when you are on the last section of the listening test. The last section is where you are listening to a long, a long talk. Maybe it's somebody who is giving a lecture, or explaining a topic. So this is the last section of the listening test. So this is where this tip here, number 8, signposts, will help you. You will be hearing, because the signpost expressions helps you to know at what point the speaker has, where, at what point they are in their talk. Remember, you're looking at this. So words like, firstly, that, and the questions come in order, in the order that you hear them in the audio. That is how the questions come. You will never find, for example, let's say question number, in section number 4 of the IELTS listening test. Say we have 10 questions in this section. And then question number 10 is asking about something that you had at the beginning of the talk. It doesn't happen that way. The questions come in the order in which you hear them being said. So you will hear firstly, secondly, that tells you that you keep on moving, okay? You will never find yourself being asked question number 10 for you to remember what you had in the introduction of the topic or the discussion or the monologue. No. So listen to these signpost expressions, things like firstly, and then that tells you that you're already moving down to the next question. Moving on, these are the examples of those expressions. Moving on, it signals you, it tells you that you're moving from one, stage to the next. So you should not be stuck there on that one question. Just know, if you've not found that answer, just know that already you need to move on. You need to move on and focus on the other questions. For instance, and however, whereas, lastly, those kind of expressions. So watch out for those expressions, especially when you are listening to the fourth section of the IELTS listening test, where you are listening to a long talk, about a specific topic. All right, so that is number 8. Number 9, be mindful of grammar rules and spelling. Of course, this I spoke about it in my last video, but this again comes here because these are all the tips that you keep on, you have to have back in your mind. Grammar, if you misspell a word, even if that is the correct answer, you lose that point. And remember, in the IELTS listening test, each question carries 1 point. So you misspell a word, you lose that point. All right. Another thing I forgot to mention, if an answer is asking for a singular word or a plural, for example, if the answer to a question is supposed to be book, and then in your answer you write books, you lose the point. This is one thing I forgot to say. Very, very important. Singular and plural. You need to check, to very, very, very keen. Listen. You need to read and listen to what is it that they are talking. Are they talking about something in singular, or are they talking about some plural things, more than one? So if it's more than one, but in your answers you write one, if they are talking about chairs, and then in your answers you write chair, you lose that point. That is, how easy it gets for people to lose points during the IELTS listening test. All right. So make sure you watch out for this. Be very, very careful. If the question is asking for a singular answer, make sure you write a singular answer. If the question is asking for plural, make sure you write the plural. If it's plural, you write singular, you lose the point. If it is singular, you write plural, you lose the point. All right. Number 10, do not leave blanks. I know somewhere just a while ago, I said, if you just find yourself getting stuck somewhere, and for sure you cannot like find that answer, and of course the audio is playing, just leave that question alone, proceed ahead. But here again, I'm telling you, do not leave the blanks. So this is what you do. When you're done, you've gone through to, remember I said the IELTS listening test has 40 questions. You've gone through the 40 questions, the 30 minutes are over. Now you have your 10 minutes to transfer your answers. And maybe there are some 2 questions that you left blank, which you did not answer. What are you supposed to do? Do guesswork. Do guesswork. Do not leave any question blank. Do guesswork and just, answer whatever it is. Think of that context that you had. If the topic or whatever it was you were listening to was about a marketplace or maybe an office, just look for whatever it is, anything that you can remember, put it there. But do not leave the any question blank. Who knows? It might be your lucky day. Sometimes people, we guess during exams. We do guesswork and we end up getting the answers correct. So it is better you do guesswork and get it wrong, or get it right or get it wrong, than just leaving it blank. Because who knows, if it was your day, you do a guesswork and you get that point, and 1 point can really make a big difference. For example, if you are at maybe a score, let's say, of at the age of getting to, for example, the requirements that you're looking for, it's a band 6.0. And where you are, it's at that age of getting to, the 6.0, and you only need just 1 point. You need just 1 point for you to cross over to 6.0. So that is how 1 mark can really save you. So do not leave any blanks. Just go through the questions during when you're transferring your answers. If you left any blank, guess anything, put it there. All right. Number 11. Do not go wrong with sequencing. I know I've spoken about this. This is a very common mistake that people make. Yes, you've done all the hard work. You've listened, you were very, very, very careful. You followed all the instructions. You got all the answers correct. You wrote them well on your answer sheet. Now it comes to the time when you're transferring your answers to your to your answer sheet. You mistakenly transfer answer to question number 5. You put it on the space for question for answer sheet number 6, and that everything starts following each other, of course, wrongly. The right answer on a wrong space. Right answer on a wrong space. What happens? No examiner is going to say, oh, I can tell this person forgot. No. They'll just do X. You just lose your points. And when the exam results come, you find yourself with a 10 out of 40. And you wonder what happened. So make sure you are very, very careful when you're transferring so that you don't find yourself in this problem of sequencing. So do not go wrong with your sequencing. And number 12, do use uppercase if needed. Very, very important. I haven't spoken about this. The IELTS listening test. This is one of the tests that the test takers are allowed to either write their answers using small letters or capital letters. If you choose to use small letters, use small letters. If you choose to write your answer in small letters, use small letters. If you choose to write your answers using capital letters, use all capital letters. Nobody is marking the uppercase or the use of uppercase or lowercase. That is not tested. All right? And it is very safe. If you know that you have a problem identifying which words are supposed to start with a capital letter, this is something that I will talk in the future in maybe a video of its own. We only start a word with a capital letter if either we are starting a new sentence or if we are writing a proper noun. So if anything you are writing is not the beginning of a sentence, or if it's not a proper noun, you cannot write this word as an answer starting with a capital letter. You do that, you lose the point. This is one, I need to give you a typical example of so many, tests that we mark and how people fall into this trap. Like I said, there are quite a number of question types. I'm going to talk about this one question type. These are the type that requires you to write yes or no or not given, or true, false, or not given. Maybe you are given a question and you are asked, can you say whether this statement here agrees with whatever it is that you listened to the speakers in the audio? Either you say yes, you say no, or not given. So most test takers, especially those who choose to write their answers using the small letter or the lowercase, they find themselves in that situation where it's not even them. It is like it's natural. It is natural. You're writing an answer, and then you do no. You know, no is the correct answer, or yes is the correct answer, or agree or disagree. But you write it starting with a capital and then small no. I mean small o. Do you know what will happen? That right there, you lose that point. You've written the correct answer. Yes, the correct answer, possibly that was question number 10. The correct answer was yes, but you've written yes with a Y, capital. Yes is not a proper noun. You just lose that point. And these are things that we deal with as tutors day in, day out. But when we realize that this specific student has a problem with figuring out proper nouns and others, we just simply advise them, drop anything to do with small case whatever answers or small letters, just focus on capital letters. Write all your answers in your listening IELTS listening test using all capital letters, and you will not have issues. So use uppercase if needed, if you know you have that problem, and you might find yourself. Sometimes even you can be as careful as you, but when you get to that test room, you never know what will happen. Something might happen and you find yourself thrown off. And maybe you find yourself in some kind of a panic mode. Even if you are that person who is as careful as somebody can be, you might find yourself just making those small mistakes, writing answers using, capital letter, and then yes, the answer is yes, but with a big capital letter, Y, and then small letters. Even if that was the correct answer, you get it wrong because that is not a proper noun. So the best thing, use all capital, all uppercase to answer your listening, IELTS listening test questions. Nobody will penalize you for using capital letters to write your answers. All right. And lastly, I know I've just mentioned this, but I need to repeat it because it is something that affects almost everybody. You are here seated in a test room, you are listening to a series of audios. Section 1, you are listening to something different. Section 2, you are listening to another, different topic. Section 3, section 4. Anybody can just, your head will just, every time, it's like you're filling your head with information. So what we advise people, as soon as you're done with each section, just empty everything that you are listening to. It's you just empty, delete. Those are the two words I normally use. Empty or delete everything that you are listening to, because you are not going to use any information from a previous audio to answer questions in a different section. So always empty everything that you had, move to the next section with like a blank brain for you to get new information. So after each section, delete. After each section, empty. Get into the next new section with an empty brain for you to fill in new information to help you answer questions. Just like I said, if you follow these tips, okay, you will rest assured that you will come out of that test room very, very, comfortable and very confident that you are going to achieve whatever targets that you had. Each person enters into the test room with their own targets. Maybe you are looking for a a band 5.0 in listening. You are looking for a band 6, you are looking for a band 7, depending on where you're migrating, the institution where you're going, the country where you're going. If you follow these tips that I've given you during the test day, you will be good to go. You won't have a problem to, have that tension throughout the 13 days. Oh, I didn't mention, usually the test, once you finish the test, you receive your results after 13 days. So you won't be worried because everything will be all right. Okay. Yeah, so that is all that I needed to share today. It's been quite a long session, but I needed to say that because we are talking about the test day. All right, this is now, it is either now or never, the test day. This is all you need to do. All right, so I hope this session will help you, and I wish you all the best in your eyes listening preparations, and also eventually test day. All right, bye bye.